Hey guys, it's Joan here back with a beer review. Now this one is gonna be interesting. In my head, it is definitely kind of polarized my opinion, and that seems to be, the word of today, isn't it? Polarizing people's ideas and stuff. You will see why this initially kind of annoyed me a little bit. Okay, so this beer is a session IPA, a 4% ABV. It is a collaboration brew between the Garden Brewery and Hercules, who are from Mexico. Um, and it's really, really interesting. Um, yeah, that tells you a little bit. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you want to pause the video and try and read what that's saying, or says, I should say, interesting. So, first of all, the can, session IPA. I wish people wouldn't say session IPA. It just makes me go crazy. Anyway, this says showcasing mosaic hops in their incognito and spectrum forms. Big tropical flavors of pineapple and citrus. So very similar from the blurb to what we had yesterday. Interesting though, because there are two different types of mosaic in here, which is really cool. Now, the other thing is Hercules have been around for about 10 years because I have been doing my due diligence for a change as I drop some propaganda. And this is from the Restore Our Earth collaboration brew that was part of the Garden Brewery's thing. And I thought, oh my God, it's a session IPA. It's going to be on trend, on point. It's going to be woke. It's a woke beer, which I'm afraid to say a lot of people who buy into this session IPA nonsense, it's just ridiculous. However, when I read the article, which is in here about Hercules, they are pretty cool. They are really cool. Their brewery uses, I think it's 70% solar energy to heat up their water for boiling, and the rest of it, which obviously is 30%, they use a biomass uh, system to create, I guess it's creating gas that they then burn. So, okay, you're burning gas, you're burning fossil fuels, but you're burning a recycled material to create your fossil fuels, and it's only 30% because the rest comes from the sun. So they're doing a lot, environmental, not perfect, but at least they're doing something. So shame on to you guys at Hercules. The other thing is, I believe their water source or their brewery is attached to a river in Mexico, which has been highly polluted by farmers, pesticides, fertilizers, and all that kind of stuff gets into the water there. So the brewery have actually been part of a collaboration for cleaning up the local river. So I think that's really cool. It's okay. I don't agree with the name, but fair dues. The other thing that I was thinking was, if you're trying to do a eco-friendly beer box, having a beer sent from Mexico to the UK, not 100% sure about that. It's a weird double standard. However, I very much suspect that they came up with the idea, and then the actual beer was probably brewed at Garden themselves. So Croatia, just not as far away, so less air miles on this bad boy. But it's hard to, when people say, "Oh, we're so eco," but when you actually try and find out, answers to the questions of, how eco are you? the information is less forthcoming, shall we say. However, the brewery in Mexico, Hercules, chamon to you guys, because they are doing a fantastic job. So well done to you guys. Let me put that to one side. This one has been in the fridge for a day, I think. So, yep. Oh, look, there we go. So it had a small amount of explosive attached, but not bad. So I have to do a carbonation check later on, as I usually do. We can get this bad boy into the glass. And I was expecting a big head, but hey, I always expect big head. You know what I mean? And I think that's a leopard on there, but I think the South American big cat is the jaguar, I think, as opposed to the leopard. Maybe they do have leopards over there as well. Who knows? Who knows? Let me do this. So I don't know about you guys, give me some feedback in the comments down below, but I'm really digging this tulip glass that I've got. It makes, especially for 330 cans, I don't think you'd fit a whole pint in there. Well, I know you can't because it's I think it's 480 or 485 capacity, but for a 330, fantastic. And I reckon you could even get a 440 in there, so a slightly larger can, which we have in milliliters in the UK. Anyway, quite a big head, over a finger's head, and look at that absolute gorgeous fluffiness in there, absolutely perfect. Oh, I forgot, I should probably get the tasting notes out from the Beer 52 because they give them to you. So slightly less aroma than the beer I had yesterday, and really interesting, different kind of aroma. This is a little bit strange. So I did tell you that there were two different kinds of mosaic hops in here, which is always cool. I like development. Okay, let me see how badly I can hold this. So this is the Session IPA by Hercules, and there we go. 4%. A light, bright, crisp, refreshing West Coast style. A delicate extra pale malt, fluffy white head. Yep, definitely got that. With a newly developed mosaic spectrum and incognito from Bathhouse. Low in bitterness, ultra refreshing, etc., etc. So we've also got a Zaka in there and Brew One, like an iron brew. Look at the picture. Whoops, wrong side. No, that's the one. Looks like a very spiky one, so it's quite hoppy, quite fruity, etc., etc. And lots of kind of, I wouldn't say experimental, but lots of hops that are kind of unproven to a certain degree. Right, let me see. How are my eyes? Terrible as usual. Let me see if I can get this thing to focus. I've been having a bit of a problem with the focusing of this thing lately. There we go. So lots of stuff. There we go. So we've got extra pale, we've got some Pilsner, we've got Munich Type 1, Caro Pils, wheat in there as well, flake wheat. No oats in this one. Hop wise, we've got we've talked about the hops already. And then it goes into strange, weird places. It's a vegan beer. Don't mess with the vegans or they'll eat you. Well, no, they won't. Incognito hops and extra special hop program of doom. Oh, I keep looking at this guy. Session IPA. See, even he's got an angry look on his. That funny look cats can do. Their nose goes like that. Make that funny noise. That's just before you get scratched. Okay, let's go in for this bad boy. Okay, a lot more sharp off the top. I think because it doesn't have the oats to mellow it, it's a bit more kind of razor. However, it's not overly hoppy. It's just definitely on the hop side. When you put things like other adjuncts, shall we say, like oats and wheat and stuff, although this has got some wheat in it, flaked wheat, kind of mellows things off, it smooths things off. Malt wise, I'm getting quite a lot of sweetness, but I would say this is probably on the kind of, I don't want to say lager, but definitely the pale ale, perhaps even the kind of the hefe style, or definitely the Weiss beer. Don't know what the yeast is, to be honest. Very clean, very crisp, a lot of hop forward. Oh, but then the sweetness comes in. So it's all about the hops. Hop, 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 hop. I don't think the IBUs are very high. It's not bitter with hops, but I bet you there's a lot of hops being put in here in dry hopping and maybe in whirlpooling late on in the brew day, if not dry hopped, and most people dry hop for kind of, up to a week. Sometimes 2 weeks is a little bit too long, I think, but weirdly, this one has got a little bit of kind of alcohol-y type thing, and maybe that's why they're calling it an IPA. Well, they're calling it a session IPA, but they should have the soles of their feet flayed for such things. I think I blame the Garden Brewery more than Hercules here, but I think they're a tiny bit more woke, whereas I think Hercules are a bit more hands-on, as they proved in their article, that they get more involved, especially in environmental things, whereas the Garden Breweries is kind of that young, petulant teenager who's, look at me, and they are a really good brewery. Don't get me wrong, I do like the Garden Brewery. Wow, this has turned into a little bit of a long one, purely because I'm waxing lyrical about the politics of brewing today. But unfortunately, it's everywhere. You cannot escape it, especially the last 5 years. Say it's got really, really bad, where people are so polarized over their opinions, and yeah, being one that kind of wears his heart on his sleeve a little bit, sometimes I need to chill out and just drink some damn beer. I really like that. I quite like experimental beers as well. That was the Session IPA from Hercules in collaboration with the Garden Brewery. Going to do some more of these ones. So we are looking a lot at the garden brewery over the next few weeks, shall we say. But I'm trying to clear a few of the beers from my back catalogue. I have to be very careful how I phrase that. So if you want to see more Unclejona reviews, please click like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, turn the bell icon on because that's what YouTube likes us to do, and then it will basically tell you when I upload another video. I usually do them every day or every couple of days, so if you're looking at Unclejona, then you will definitely find an absolute shed load, because they're in my shed, of beers. Anyway, until the next time, this has been Unclejona. Please drink some beer. Don't take everything too seriously. And we'll see you next time. Shalom.